Hey there folks, how's it going tonight? Tonight I'm going to teach you how to make some pretty grubbin fried potatoes and some breaded pork chops in the air fryer. I will be pan frying the potatoes. I've already got the olive oil and about 3/4 of a stick of butter melted in there, ready to go. We'll be seasoning them with purple or red onions, whatever you want to call them, and hand chopped garlic. Purple onions promote anti-cancer stuff. I'll also be using some Lowry's garlic salt for some extra garlicky goodness. Plenty of black pepper, heart healthy folks. We'll be adding a little bit of parsley to it, and I'll probably also mix in some baby carrots. That way you get your veggies and your potatoes. One more thing I'm gonna add. Cannabis cooking oil. This is dry. Look out the window and see what the dogs are doing. Put dogs barking out, please. All right, folks. So right here, I'm going to show you how I cook potatoes and how I cut them to make them cook fairly quick. I do them in quarters like so. Then we cut them into thirds. I like to do a layer of potatoes on the bottom. This over here for better visibility. I like cast iron. While I don't suffer from anemia or anything, my lady does, and cast iron is a good way to get iron, whether you're anemic or not, in a natural way instead of Teflon, which if you ingest it, it never leaves the body and causes all sorts of long-term health problems. Of course, if the potatoes are a little bit bigger like this, you're going to want to maybe cut quarters or something. The key is to have most of these sides exposed to absorb flavor and also cook faster. I'm going to hand cut the onion, but normally I would use a Hamilton Beach blender or food processor combo. I had one for years, and Rachel this Christmas was kind enough to replace it for me with a newer one, but I figure maybe some of you would like to learn some tricks that I learned from a English woman who spent many years in the restaurant business. So when you're cutting an onion, the easiest way to handle it is to take and you cut both ends off just like I showed you. Then you take this outer edge here and you just cut into that, right? Like so. And then you peel the outer edge off. I've already pulled off a lot of the outside skin, but basically, as you see, easy as pie there. I did it because I don't like the dry stuff getting everywhere. Then what I like to do is, normally if I was put it in the food processor, I'd simply cut it like this and just throw those chunks in and it would mince it up. If I wanted the chunks a little bit bigger, you know, I just leave it a little bit bigger. So now, go ahead and just chop this up. Like I said, folks, they got great anti-cancer effects. You know, probably some of you have a better way of doing this, but you know, they'll cook down anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that, sprinkle that in there for now. I sanitized all of the counters and everything with Clorox bleach and Dawn dish soap as usual. Cleanliness is godliness, folks. It also keeps you from having a monster inside you grow from nastiness, parasites, microbes, etc. I thought I was gonna need 2 onions, but I think I'm only gonna need 1. I'll go ahead and put this over here with my backup reserve. All right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna teach you how to peel garlic easy. So I've already broken it off from the main clove and got the white, dry, flaky skin part off. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut both ends. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna allow you to get in here, and without it being on the end, it's going to allow you to easily peel off, like so, what is left of the part that you're not going to want to ingest. See how easy that is? It just came right off, real easy like. See, just like that, just like that. Now see, that nice moist clove of garlic is now exposed, ready to be cut. Very much similar with the onion. You waste a little, but you know what? How much is your time worth, folks? Mine is worth more than whatever the end pieces of garlic pretty much are worth. When we cut it into pieces like that, then we take the knife and we crush it like so. We crush it like so. And what this does is it opens up the garlic. It allows us the most of the flavor and everything to basically get in there. I don't think I'm gonna need these extra 3 cloves on that either. All right. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Lowry's garlic salt. We're just gonna lightly sprinkle it on there. Parsley, she doesn't come out as easy, so we're gonna tap the bottom around the pan. And then pepper. Never goes too, you can have too much pepper, but it's a lot easier to have not enough, especially if you want to counterbalance, you know, different things in life that might cause heart attacks that I can and cannot mention on this channel. Pharmaceutical stuff, or, you know, poor health choices, you know, other times. But some of you might have some heart concern worries from, you know, something we were all lied to about. And, you know, it's good for you anyway. Also good for the allergies. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add in some carrots. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and pour some carrots out here on this cutting board like so. Save the rest for the guinea pig. He gets pissy when he doesn't have carrots. And I'm just gonna simply cut these baby carrots in half. Now, some might say these carrots aren't the best option because, you know, they're picked young and rolled through chlorine and stuff. But you know, unless you're growing it yourself and you know what's going into it, you never really get the healthiest of stuff. I mean, even the organic stuff, they play with wording and stuff at Whole Foods and different places like that to make you think it's more better for the environment and better for you and organic than it actually is. And in fact, sometimes even though you're using like organic manure and stuff like that on your fertilizer, if your soil's pH is too hot, it actually can't get an organic certified quality. So it just shows you, you know, nothing's ever what it seems. They've always got some kind of BS scam, play with words, you know. So anyway, I think this is definitely healthier than French fries and whatever. So, all right, let us see here how we are doing. So, you know, this stuff is going to cook down quite a bit. What I'm going to do now is, I think I'm going to cut up one final potato to put in there, and I think it'll be plenty full of potatoes for us. Be a nice skillet. Easily can feed 2 or 3 people and have some leftovers. Even the dog can have some. All right, we're gonna go ahead and give this stuff another dusting of black pepper. Another dusting of garlic salt. Some parsley. And we're also going to go ahead and use a very top secret ingredient. We get this out by the Sutter Buttes over here in Sutter County. It's wildflower, wild honey. I have a mold allergy, and this right here helps it where it eases that, you know, during these wet months. I just put it a little bit in everything and use it in my coffee, and it's better than that wannabe honey stuff most people buy in the store that isn't actually honey. It's like watered down honey with lots of sugar and or just sugar. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this stuff out of the way now. Shoot. I'm gonna go and put these extra potatoes we don't need back over here on the side thing. A little bit smaller kitchen. I live in the oldest house in Marysville, built 1850 by a guy named Stephen J. Field, who ended up a Supreme Court justice, and he was appointed by Abraham Lincoln. I can't remember the name of it, but basically it was a judge, jury, and executioner of Yuba County. And he started out here, you know, when he was just beginning. It's much smaller, and then he built up in front where my landlord and good friend Wild Bill lives, basically in 1851. So we're standing right here, and I'm showing you how to cook in literally the oldest house in Marysville. I believe there's only a couple of buildings in town that are commercial or anything else that are as old as this, if not just slightly older. So what we've got here is I've kind of got some of this stuff prepped up for us over here on the shelf to go. These are the breadcrumbs I'm using. I used to make my own breadcrumbs, but that stuff takes too much time. So what I like to do is I like to take the Progresso Parmesan breadcrumbs and the plain, and I mix them together. I just dump a little bit of each in, and I mix it around with my hands. Now, right, they go back here. Now, I have not cracked the eggs yet, but I've got some nice farm fresh eggs here that I get off of a lady I know and went to school with. Awesome person. Go ahead and move this aside. All right, folks. So what we're gonna do is take and crack the egg. Some people tell you to only use the egg white. You know, just like with cannabis, I believe if you're gonna get health benefits, what it does is they tell you to use the egg whites because it makes the breading come out looking a little bit more brown instead of like a tan color. Rinse my hands off now in the Dawn dish soap bleach water. Now what you do is you can use a fork or a whisk. I like the fork because, you know, it's a shallower bowl we're using to egg and bread the pork chop in, so it's easier. You can just push down and crush it, whisk it around fairly easy. Just want to make sure it's all mixed up pretty good here. Make sure the yolk and the eggs whites blended pretty good, and you know. Something like that there. We don't need this stuff yet, so we're gonna go ahead and just move this into the stuff Okay. So put our plate here. We're gonna put the breaded pork chops uncooked on that plate. Now myself, I prefer meat from Food Max and Rayleigh's, but this is great value, premium pork. I had it delivered from Walmart.com. It's been a lifesaver with my car in the shop, our car in the shop. So we're gonna go ahead and open this. I've had it defrosting overnight and in the fridge, and then basically on the stove the last hour or so to make sure they're good. The last thing you want to do is eat not fully cooked pork. You know, hold on, I'm gonna teach you guys another little trick here. So let me rinse off my hands. Now, oh, probably better get this going. Alright. Go ahead and start that. Gotta have our drink of cannabis smoothie. Bunch of berries, cranberry juice, and cannabis and honey. Now what I'm gonna do is, I'm actually gonna take, I'll let you know how this turns out. I've never done it before. I'm going to take good old Clorox. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glaze one side with the honey. We'll see how this turns out in the egg. Like I said, never done it before, but it seems like a pretty good idea. All right, we're gonna give our potatoes and carrots a quick stir. Whole meal from start to finish should take you roughly 35 to 50 minutes to make, including preparation time. Figure you're going to want to cook the potatoes for about a half hour, and you're probably going to want to cook the pork chops in the air fryer. It says 360 for 14 to 16 minutes. All right, folks, so here's how we put the pork chops in the egg. You want to make sure that it's really drenched in the egg. And then what you do is you put it in here. Now I like to make sure that all my edges are also breaded. And I throw it, you know, just up and down like that a few times. And then we're going to go ahead and put it on the plate. And we're just going to repeat that. It looks like about 8 times. I like the thin pork chops because without marinating, they often come out pretty tender. And, you know, that's what we want. Oh, look at that. I just made a mess. Well, folks, that's why I use Clorox. Better than getting trichinosis or salmonella or whatever other kind of crazy shit. Alright, keep on going. It looks like the honey is actually staying on there pretty good. Either mixing with the egg or staying on there, I'm not sure which, but either way it's getting into the chop. Now see, when it's open like that there, you see that? Maybe you can't see it. But basically I like to take that edge and rub it in there too when there's like a split in the chop. Get that breading all in there, that goodness. Alright folks, we got one more. And then I gotta drizzle some more honey and stir the potatoes, and then we'll bread the egg and bread the other ones. This was a later discovery in life. I didn't know how to cook shit until I got with Rachel about 10 years ago. I was a very blessed man and had women who loved to cook for me quite, pretty much all the time before getting with Rachel, who had to learn how to cook, from me pretty much. And boy, I'll tell you how green I was. And I started out with making basic stuff like rice-a-roni sides and learning how to make steak and stuff. And then what happened was I got good at a few recipes. I would just get offline or out of cookbooks, and then I started experimenting, because what I didn't realize in my youth, when I was the microwave and go out to eat king and had fortunate blessing of many people who would cook for me, like I was saying, is I didn't realize cooking was chemistry. I've always been good at things that are kind of a science and an art. I especially like chemistry, and biochemistry is a kind of a little side hobby. And part of being a cannabis caretaker also. So pretty much once I figured out it was chemistry, it became a lot easier to figure out. This goes to a different institutional pot and pan set I've got, but it covers the potatoes nicely, on this cast iron skillet. All right, folks, time to make some more pork chops become breaded. What you do here is, like I said, you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Make sure all of your edges and your sides and everything are taken care of. Don't be afraid to pick some of the breading up and throw it on there. Look at that honey on there. You hope anyway. Probably ain't gonna come out terrible. That's the important part. Sounds like it's time to stir the potatoes again. Oh, I see what's happening. The egg, you should have whisked up the egg a little bit between this stuff. Isn't it interesting, the different texture and stringiness to meats, various types and cuts? It really affects the way you have to marinate and bread, etc., etc. Alright, I'm going to teach you a nifty cleanup tip, folks. So what you want to do is, I like to take what it came on, and first I dump my breadcrumbs in there, right? Just dump them on in. Get as much of that shit off there as you can. Alright. Babe, I need your help. Please come here for a second. Now normally what I do is I have a paper towel at the ready. We've got a limited place. So I spread that out. And then I put the egg yolk in there. Grab me a couple paper towels, please. Hand them over here to this hand of dirtiness. Thank you. And then I take this and I wipe that off. Yes. please remove the lid from that. Just go ahead and put it in the sink for now. And then we put that there. Hand me another paper towel, please. And then go ahead and grab the spatula and stir that stuff up from the bottom and flip it, you know, like I do. Yeah, that spatula. All right, folks. So then you've got all that egg nastiness there. Here is the bag they put the chops in. We put that in there. All right. We give our hands a quick Clorox wash, temporary anyway, because after we've completed this step, it's time to drain it and start over. I always use Scotch shop towels. They say Bounty is the quicker picker-upper, but I'll tell you, if you don't want to fuck around and find out with some kind of mess, use Scotch shop towel, paper towels. I also order them right from Walmart.com to my door. It's nice. What we do is we do the bulk of this cleanup with disposable paper towels. Yeah. Oh, we can get away. Yeah, looking good, huh? Yeah. Got a special kick of honey and some other herbs and spices and ingredients. All right. Yeah. All right, folks. So then, yeah, put that back. Thank you. Go ahead and wipe that off. Then what we do is we take this bag here, we get all the air out we can, we spin it around. Hold on, you ain't done yet. And then we tie it up, and we have the assistant take it out and put it in the gray toter, please. Thank you. All right, folks. So there is that. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and pull down our Turbo XL air fryer here. Technically it's Rachel's, Power XL air fryer. This is the little one. We're thinking about upgrading to the whatever larger quart size there is. Now, go ahead and keep that right there. I'm going to go ahead and give these another stir. If you consider upgrading to cast iron, make sure to use a pot holder, or if because of nerve damage and ongoing health problems, you only feel the nerve pain and it deadens the feeling everywhere else you've got, kind of like paralysis almost. But thanks to physical therapy, muscle isolation, and using how to use different muscles to do the same thing as the ones that maybe no longer work, it allows me to kind of grab that and steady it without getting burned. But it is hot. I can feel it, which says how hot it actually is. You know, I don't.
Out there, and then I smell it here.
Oh, say what?
I smell the habit when I go out there.
Well, the Habit burger.
And then I smell it here.
Well, which smells better?
I think this does.
Good. Oh. That Habit burger is not bad. It's definitely better than the Jack in the Box, but I wish it was as good as the ones that are elsewhere. All right, folks. So we're gonna go ahead and spread that out. It's already getting nice and soft. I've turned the heat down to about halfway. We're gonna let that simmer. Now I'm gonna show you how to grease the air fryer basket properly. They'll tell you to use the cooking spray and this and that. That works all right, but what I like to do is just take some olive oil, put it on there. Now, of course, it's gonna go through the bottom of the pan, but that doesn't matter because you're gonna use that to grease it anyway. And you want that stuff to go everywhere, pretty much, because if you don't, those breadcrumbs are going to stick to everything. And I like to just keep dipping it in the olive oil that went to the bottom. And I do both sides because if you've ever owned one of these and used it, you know getting this grate thing clean can be a real task if you don't properly coat it with cooking oil and, you know, do everything possible. And I don't know, I haven't seen the coating or whatever this thing's paint or whatever's on it, the finish get destroyed yet, but I imagine it's probably not healthy to ingest. All right, then we just throw the paper towel away. Rinse our hands off again. All right, now what we're gonna do is, oh, I need a fork. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take the pork chops, and I'm gonna pick them up with a fork, and I'm gonna sit them where they're layered around that center hole you guys saw in the middle that we also greased up good. Now with these size chops, you can cook 4 at a time, like so. Okay, I didn't preheat the, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and I'm gonna put some olive oil in this cap here, and I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of that on each chop. Bam, like so. All right, then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take, we're gonna put some honey on it, like so. I'll let you know how that comes off the air fryer. All right, then what we're gonna do is, for an extra little bit of kick, we're gonna take some Kraft Parmesan cheese. We're gonna lightly sprinkle each chop with some of that. Bam! Put that there. All right. Then I'm gonna set it to, woo, that was fun. Then I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna set it to 360, and this first go around I'm gonna set it at 17 minutes because I didn't preheat it first, which I should have. All right, here we go. Ooh, yeah, those potatoes are doing great. Well, pretty much, I'm just gonna turn them back up a little bit now that we got the air fryer going. I didn't want the potatoes to finish up before the pork chops even got started cooking. And what I'm looking to do is let's see if I can't get this. So you'll see right here, this onion here is starting to caramelize. It's still purple. What I like to do is get the potato skins and the onion to caramelize like that all the way through. And then what I like to do is you saw me initially cooking with the lid on. Now that everything's soft and nice and good, what I like to do is I like to leave it with the, ooh, that's hot, see? Good thing I can't feel my fingers most of the time, or a lot of shit below my shoulders. Anyway, now we're gonna leave that open so the water evaporates up out of it, and it basically makes it where the potatoes are going to kind of firm up a little bit, where they're saturated with oil and butter and goodness right now. All right, folks, well, so I think what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to kind of let things finish up, and I'll show you guys when these pork chops come out and I start serving up plates. I'm going to show you guys the end result. So I'll be right back. It'll be instantaneous for you, but about 15-20 minutes for us. Talk to you in a second. All right, folks, we still got a few minutes left, but I thought I'd show you about the time that they're ready to be done, I take and I add some Parmesan cheese to them. Bam! I've already added it once and I've stirred it in. And pretty much now, that's going to soak in and be extra goodness. Alright, and while we're at it, we're about halfway through. Look at those chops. And now we're going to go ahead and flip them. Oh, perfecto. Oh, ho,